Hello, it's Hither here again, and I have a very exciting topic to talk about in this video. It is the most important, in fact, and the one that is most, underestimated. Most underestimated topic in life is relationships, because we're all in them. And I know if you're not in an intimate relationship, you're in a relationship with your parents, your siblings, your friends, your work colleagues. So you're in relationships all the time. Now, how powerful are relationships to being successful? Because in my life, I'm all about teaching people how to be successful, how to be better, etc. And that one thing that stops them, I'm going to take you to your proper relationship, the closest ones. Now, if you're in a relationship with a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever partner, that is the relationship that is closest to you, I would assume, because you are interacting with them the most, seeing them the most, spending the most time with them. Otherwise, think of the next closest one. So whatever is the closest relationship in your life, this one is going to have the most impact in your life. In fact, did you know that 90% of your happiness, fluffy word, but it's a big one, 90% of your happiness is directly related to whatever relationship you're in. So let's give you some examples. I'll give you myself as an example. I've been in rubbish relationships, okay? I'll put my hand up to them. They were absolute rubbish. And they are people that I thank now in my head to think, great, because I've now learned how to have a fantastic life thanks to the crap we went through. So, and it's you attract what you are at that time. So if you are with low self-esteem, or just generally very insecure as an individual, you're going to pick up that dirt that comes with it, i.e. that individual that will just trigger those points in you. So let's not blame the other person so much. I'm not here to hate on ex-partners, because that's not what life's about. I'm going to say simply that you have to be aware of what's going on in you, in your head, mentally, emotionally, because if you're going to be successful, they will hold you back, and you're going to have a dead weight in your life. Now, if you see when you meet someone, you meet them and you interact with them, and you're in a relationship based on what you are like at the beginning of that relationship, and what you are aiming to fulfill in you as an individual at that point in your life. So we enter a relationship for a very different reason sometimes. So when we enter a relationship to what happens maybe a year down the line, and then maybe fast forward to maybe 4 or 5 years, if you even get to that point, you're a whole different person. Now, if you're not different, that's a very bad thing. Because I very much believe if you live your life the same as if you're from when you're 20 to when you're 40, and you haven't changed your personality at all, you've just wasted 20 years of your life. Okay, so you have to change and develop as a person. That's part of it. It's a human need. Whether you like it or not, you are different. This year compared to last year, you evolve. Life is there to teach you lessons, and people in your life are there to teach you lessons. Now, the thing with relationships are you meet each other at that point where everything seems perfect. You love each other eventually because things are so, you're happy with what things you do together. Everything seems so common, so many common grounds, etc. And then one of you gets really high up and is maybe successful, and the other one is stagnant. Possible, this is a relationship I've had relationships where I was growing so fast with my career and making so much money, and mentally I was changing, but that person was staying in that first phase or the whole year, the whole 4 or 5 years or whatever. So this was a horrible dead weight that it became a very dangerous place to be, because they will drag you back down there. So it's very important that you need to know yourself first, know what you're about. If you've got a capacity to grow, if your highest value, for example, mine, is growth, is big. So I need to keep developing as an individual. It's not about money, it's about growth. Money comes as a byproduct, okay, if I'm talking about business now. But all my success in life has come down to working on me. So the more I work on me, the better my life becomes, the luckier I become, okay? So if that individual that I'm with is not understanding that philosophy, or doesn't share that philosophy, or is not about, I don't want to be that, I'm happy with a 2-bedroom house and mid-terrace, and I drive in a, whatever, and I don't want to have any more, then for me, that's a major issue. Because I want to see the sky's the limit. I'm not interested in living small. We have one chance to live anyway. So might as well live it big, or in the way you get to live it. Live it once, live it right. Once is enough. I don't want to come back and do it over and over again because I made a mistake. How, just trying to please so-and-so. I had to live small. I've done that before. Can you believe it? I had once I was with a partner. I'll give you an example now. I was with a partner and I wanted to buy a very big house. I was very young, I'll be honest. And, he was a similar age. And he was so uncomfortable with that idea because he's like, oh, I can't afford this type of thing. I feel so insecure and I can't be with you. A lot of guys have said to me that they can't be with me before because they felt inferior with the money issue, and that's full of absolute rubbish. So women, if you're in this situation, just do not be afraid to walk away. I did the stupid thing as to, okay, let's just live small to keep you happy. So I lived in a smaller house in a place I didn't even want to be, and I was so bitter because I was subconsciously, it was eating me up. I couldn't progress because I was trying to make so-and-so happy. And that wasn't the right thing to do. The right thing to do was either try and make him improve, which he was incapable of, in my opinion, and in which case I should have walked away. Eventually, obviously, ended, and I'm so grateful, but relationships are crucial to your success, are crucial to what makes you happy. You need to understand yourself. You need to learn how to understand other people. Until you have that talent to really figure out people, you're going to get into the wrong relationship time and time again. And if they end, then don't be surprised. I mean, there's nothing wrong in relationships ending as long as you understand why that they served a purpose at the time. So I am very, very particular. So when about relationships, because when I meet people who want to be wealthy and they ask me and I'm their coach or mentor, I ask them all the questions that they didn't expect. I'm not bothered about how much money they got right now and the plan or strategy we're going to get to go up there. I'm interested in the roots of them and their mind. Are you with a partner? Tell me what they're about. How do they feel about what you're doing? Are they supportive, or are they kind of like talking down at you? Now you've got to understand the language around the whole relationship. So I have to see what personal relationships they hold and their belief system. The relationships you're choosing in life reflect you. I can tell you what you're like just based on the relationships you've got with your partner, your parents, your siblings, whatever, because it will define you and your characteristics as an individual. Because if I can tell someone if they're completely low self-esteem based on the relationships they've got. I can tell someone if they're completely people pleaser, or just a weak character based on the relationships they've got, or whatever. And those are crucial to get rid of or change, because you cannot be successful with that mindset. Success is a science, and relationships play a massive part. So we need to keep that in check all the time. And can people change? Of course. Can people be inspired to be better? Of course. So let's not point the finger all the time at someone else. Always go back to yourself. You have to be perfect before you can point the finger at someone else. So I never do that. But I know I might have made a few comments here and there. It seem like that. Believe me, I have no bitterness for my past. I'm just great that they ended for what they have, for whatever happened, because I'm in the happiest place right now. Okay, so I just understand relationships so much because. So what I wanted to say is that just figure yourself out. When you figure yourself out, you will figure somebody else out. You'll understand people and figure out how to inspire someone. The way to inspire that person in your relationship is to figure out what makes them tick. What are their 3 highest values? Communicate on that level. So your 3 may be different to their 3, top 3, okay? So if doing 1, 2, 3 is different to 1, 2, 3 there, that's a good thing, by the way. They don't always have to do what you do, because then you're like going out with a clone, or you might as well just date your mirror, because ultimately that's what you want. No one should be the same. I don't want people to be the same as me. I think I would go insane if someone was just like me. If I had a relationship with myself, I'd probably kill him. Okay, so let's not, I am so happy when I see, whoever I'm with, I'm always in awe of their top 3 values. They offer me 3 values in my life that I don't have. So I love it, but I communicate on those top 3 levels. So those 3, as long as they're fulfilled and my top 3 are fulfilled, that's why opposites attract, by the way, because it's actually a good thing. When I communicate from our value system to his or her value system, different, if you communicate in those levels, everyone's happy. So let's not be so selfish. Work yourself out, work the other person out, and inspire each other to be better. So the question was, do relationships matter, or are relationships important in being successful? The answer is a resounding yes. So please choose wisely, please act better from this point on, and I hope that video made a bit of a difference to you. Okay, speak to you soon.